Okie dokie, welcome back to Scouching's video room. Today we are taking a look at another San Jose Sharks prospect in Igor Chernyshov. Now, Igor Chernyshov has been injured right up until just a few games ago, where he has played now 4 games at time of recording. If you're not familiar, what we do on this series is we look at a single performance of a player. So we look at what they bring to the game, maybe some areas of potential improvement, and see what they might be able to carry forward into the NHL, and take a cross-sectional look and see what we've got going on here. So Igor Chernyshov, again, is number 25 here on the right wing. He's this guy playing with some really good line mates in Michael Misa and Christian Epperson. So let's see what they can put together. I'm a broken record on this stuff, but I love this, right? If the puck comes to him, he's going to be under pressure, but he is facing this direction, square to the puck. Michael Misa is going for a skate here. And then as Misa wraps around the back of the net, Chernyshov is still square to the puck here, right? So if the puck comes out, he's in line. Comes around, he's still in line to get a stick on the puck here, right? If you're going to go to the net, face the puck. Follow play, see what you can do. Misa coughs it up, and Guelph is coming the other way. Smart first shift little thing there. Here you see the first flash of the kinds of things that Chernyshov is capable of. Again, he's not a small guy. He's like 6'2"-ish. And just watch how quickly he gets himself turned around on his inside edges and then tries to dangle the puck through the Guelph defender there. I think in an ideal world, if you have hindsight as 2020 goggles on, you probably want to be chipping the puck this way. You know, you've got a man ready for a shot here. Maybe you try to go cross crease and do that kind of thing. He turns the puck over trying to dangle number 4 there on defense, but you still see what he's capable of. That kind of skill level is there. Didn't work out that time, and maybe you want him to pass the puck there, but thought it was a nice indicator of the kinds of things I remember watching of Chernyshov. I just want to pause this game for a moment and just acknowledge that it is 5-0 in the first period. Chernyshov has not been on the ice for a goal for at even strength in this one so far, so obviously that's not a knock or anything, but sometimes I love the CHL. This is wild. So this is right off of a face-off here. I kind of would like Chernyshov to be a step quicker to get out to the blue line here and challenge Max Nemestnikov here and at least try to make something happen. He gets in the right lane, I suppose, but he turns away from the potential stick check here and just becomes a non-factor. But then he makes a really nice play here under pressure, just pulling the puck around a forechecker there and very nearly starting a breakout there. So again, that quick pull, move the puck around the guy forechecking, and try to make something happen. I don't know. We're a period into this game. Not really much has happened. He's only played 3 minutes at even strength, so pretty quiet game so far. Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of this, right? So Chernyshov is here, and again, not a small player, and I feel like he should be much more of a factor on this defensive entry here. He kind of just taps it into his own zone below the goal line and then just kind of stops applying pressure to much of anybody. To me, this is a loose puck race that you should not only win, but find a way to hand the puck over to your defensive support there. So, you know, you have the inside lane here if you really move your feet, and you could probably just cause a turnover on the blue line there, which he kind of does. But maybe you don't have a lane here because you have this guy streaking in, but you know, you have Zane Parekh here, and it's just sort of a very soft pass here. But I guess the bigger problem for me is, like, you can do that, but then you absolve yourself of responsibility of doing anything, and Zane Parekh does not go into the corner nearly hard enough, and just Guelph, they come out with possession of the puck and have space to play, which to me, in that situation, I kind of would rather, especially if you're such a big kid, stop that stuff from happening. But here he goes. Here we go. You know, offense is offense. So he gets the offensive zone here. This guy streaks to the net. You know, maybe he pulls the puck this way and tries to go down a bit deeper to make a play, or you thread the puck somehow into the middle of the ice and the trailing forward can catch it. But he holds onto it, and does nothing. That's the second time that we've seen him in 5 minutes of ice time or less with skill on display, but going nowhere with it and killing momentum. So sometimes fun to watch, but when it doesn't work, it can be frustrating. This is just pure skill on display. 1, 2, 3, pull it around on net. They call that a medium danger chance in my neck of the woods. Skill is skill, and it can work. Here's another one. Chernyshov just fights for the puck and gets there, and a quick shot on net. It's funny. When I watched Chernyshov, it was almost exclusively in the KHL, especially as the season wore on last year. And I love to watch guys at that level because you get to see quite a lot on display and sort of an NHL style of play maybe coming to form at that age. And one of the things I noted about Chernyshov, and my data said this as well, he was kind of here and there in terms of involvement in the game. It wasn't the most impactful guy all the time, but in every single game, even in the KHL, he came away with a few scoring chances where I'm going, yep, He's just in the right place at the right time, or won the right stick check at the right time, or won a loose puck race at the right time and just made no mistake. Went to the net or found a way to find himself in a scoring area on the ice and got a couple of chances. He did it in the KHL, he did it in the Russian Junior League last year, and he's doing it in the OHL here, right? He's been quite quiet, and they just got scored on. I mean, I don't think anything here is really his fault. It just goes to show, he's a guy who sometimes gets the scoring chances, but is often not the most involved in play. Remember when I said I love the CHL sometimes? It is now 5-3. Remember when I just said that Chernyshov finds a way to find himself in scoring areas and get scoring chances here and there? Caleb Mangoni's just a madman out here, pivoting and turning and trying to make some room for himself. Here's Chernyshov. He just got off the bench, fresh legs. He's just going to go, you know what? I'm going to hang out here. Hopefully this guy hits me with a pass, and very, very nearly does. That was a nice pickoff there by the defender, or whoever that is, but he was in great position there to get a really good chance, and Mangoni very nearly set him up for, this is almost certainly a goal. The goaltender is still facing where Mangoni was, and the puck is over here. There's just no way he was going to stop this. So Mangoni set up Chernyshov in the last little clip there for a really nice scoring chance. Chernyshov just being a nice guy here. Gets the puck along the boards. This one is the yellow brick road, right? This is an easy one for him to go, yep, there you go. And they got a goal. That's just the plains of Saskatchewan opened up in the middle of the ice here. Guelph just 3 guys around the net here, way too deep. 2 guys out near, where the wingers probably should be ideally. But, this is just silly. Easy peasy stuff. Tic-tac, you didn't even need a toe. And now it's 6-3. This is a really, really great power forward style play here from Chernyshov. So he's facing a little bit of pressure here from 93 on Guelph. And again, this is a big guy. Fends off pressure really, really well. He was in the KHL last year here and there for a reason, right? Watch him just escape this guy, create a gap, but then he puts the puck on his backhand. He's a right-handed shot. He gets the puck to the left-hand side of his body. So now what there is here is a gap. So this player here is trying to wrap his stick around Chernyshov's body. Chernyshov blocks the stick with his legs, but also has the puck pulled to the left side of his body over here. Just keeping it on his offhand, protecting the puck really, really well from where the pressure is, goes to the net and tries to get the puck. Really good scoring move there as well. Drags the goalie to the left a little bit, but tries to tuck the puck up on the left side. So it's this, playing around with your opponent a little bit can definitely help you score. Didn't go in, but nice little rush offense play there from Chernyshov. Let me just get this out as well. I adore Michael Misa as a player. Every time I see him, I feel like he just gets better and better and better. And when you play with a guy that good, who's just good at everything, like really good at everything, sometimes you just need to give him a little tap, boop, there you go, and let him do the rest. It's a really clever little, I'm not a hero, here's a pass, just a little tap. You recognize a really good player in transition on the rush there. Could have had another point on the night. Speaking of loving Michael Misa, check this out. Sharks fans, these two might be on your team at some point, so enjoy. I'm only going to mention this because this is like the 3rd or 4th time this has happened in the game. Settling the puck can be a really, really good skill to have if you're really reliable at it. And I've seen Chernyshov bobble pucks. This isn't the greatest play in the first place for him to deal with, but that's like the 3rd or 4th time this game where there's been a bit of sloppy defensive exits through Chernyshov because he's just not knocking down those pucks. But then, you see stuff like this and it makes it look a lot better. So Chernyshov gets the puck from Zane Parekh here in scoring areas. Doesn't really have the momentum to make a power move to the net here, but a really nice backhand pass to this guy in scoring areas here to try to get a really good scoring chance. It's Michael Misa who does get a scoring chance because he's Michael frickin' Misa. And then there's another follow-up chance. So Chernyshov, quick thinking, again, he's a little quiet. Here and there, you kind of go, I'm not sure what he's really doing. And then boom, 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 he pops and there's something happening in the offensive zone. So this is an interesting sequence from Chernyshov, and I think it's really illustrative of something that confuses me when people ask me questions like, how good is this player at defending? And my question always in return is, well, what do you mean? What kind of defending? What discipline of defending? Or when people say, oh, this is a smart player, he's got good hockey sense, good awareness, and I'm going, okay, but where? When? How? What do you mean? Like, what does that specifically mean? Because here you see a good side of defending, I think, from Chernyshov and good hockey sense, but also bad defending, and awareness, and it's juggled all at once, right? So Chernyshov does a good job here. So he's here in the corner, and he's going to tie himself to this puck carrier really, really well. I call it pursuit defense. He just manages to keep up with this guy well, uses his body, he's shoving him, he's defending with his feet as well. He gets some support, keeps the puck to the outside, gets a perimeter chance, but then look what happens. So here, the puck hits the net, and it's going to come rebounded out to where Chernyshov is. And number 7 here, Chernyshov is just asleep at the wheel and loses track of where number 7 is. The puck comes behind the boards, and now you can kind of insert what you think is going to happen here, right? Chernyshov doesn't get to the puck in time. Luchenko just cleverly uses his edges and slightly pushes himself out of Chernyshov's way. Just that quick little cut from Luchenko made all the difference in the world, right? You go from this position where you're really maybe not the best scoring chance opportunity here to this in literally a tenth of a second, quarter of a second, maybe, and they score a goal. Now they're within 2. This is really good forechecking from Chernyshov. I'll just play it. It's pretty simple. He just gets his stick on Skvortsov's strong side here. He gets some support from Misa. They turn the puck over, and here we go. This is another good read from Chernyshov here. So he's in open ice on his side of the ice, right? He's got a defenseman in his line of sight, kinda, out of his peripheral. He probably sees this guy going for the puck, which is along the half wall here. And he will make a pretty good coverage here, right? So Chernyshov is on his way into the area where that defenseman used to be. The defenseman is now here. Just good coverage, knocks down that breakout pass and keeps the puck in the offensive zone and gets it down the half wall, and they maintain possession. Super smart coverage, just a good read. I love when wingers do that. They have that awareness and they know that their defenseman can be a little bit more aggressive in the offensive zone and know they have some support. So I like to see stuff like that whenever I'm watching young guys. To me, this is what I think makes Chernyshov such an interesting NHL prospect. So he is just about to come off the bench. The puck comes to the neutral zone here. He's just fresh on the ice, so he's this guy. And just watch what he does. So he gets the puck, spins off of that hit, and then gets the puck to someone else. Yeah, you could just eat the puck here. You could just brace yourself for this contact and figure out a way to grind the play down or whatever. But if you think you can do it, I mean, if I'm coaching, I go, you know what? If you think you can do it, try it. Just spin off of that pressure. Now he obviously isn't upright, which is not ideal, but now he's got something to do here. This guy almost threw himself into the bench, so you're not really under any threat immediately outside of maybe this guy, but you at least have a little pocket of space to play with that you didn't before. And then he just already right away, right? But again, very, very quickly, he makes the read, turns into the boards, maybe not always the best idea, but he turns into the boards to make a play to the guy supporting him, and they get the puck up the ice. Creative, but effective, and I love to see that too. This game is basically all goals. Just the whole game is all goals. Chernyshov got a few points in this game at least. I'm not sure off the top of my head. You can kind of maybe see how this happens, right? Chernyshov is here. He's got another guy here. The puck's down low along goal line, but you'll notice, you can count the seconds. He's just hunting. He's hunting and hunting and hunting, and then boom, pivot, bang. There's nobody covering him, right? He's wide open, floats into the scoring area there, then floats into the other scoring area, square to the puck. Puck comes right out to him. He makes no mistake, right? This is the importance of being square to the puck as much as you possibly can. Be ready for these opportunities, because that quick pivot facing the net and the puck's in the back of the net. Now it's 8-6. This is the other thing too, is Chernyshov can absolutely rip a hockey puck. I know we just saw him score a goal, but he also gets this puck really well on his pivot there. Like, that's just a really nice pivot for a big guy, and then just absolutely rifles it. Yeah, he has Michael Misa here, who is just absolutely flying, by the way, right? These two guys are really good. I mean, Chernyshov with that clean reception on the turn, and Misa's just on fire there. It doesn't go for the pass, but probably the right call, considering, I know Misa has the speed advantage here, but this is a tough pass to make, right? Like, maybe he flips it into the middle and hopes that Misa gets there. But if you think you can score and you can shoot like that, may as well, give it a go. And maybe Misa gets the rebound. But this team is a fun team to watch, Saginaw, for sure. Here's another goal from Saginaw and another goal from Chernyshov. And again, just another rip, right? So Chernyshov is not even on screen. You might call that a bit of a criticism, but also Guelph has 4 guys in the zone here, and so does Saginaw, right? You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I guess you may as well send a guy like Chernyshov into the neutral zone and see what happens. Christian Epperson makes no mistake, and bang. I'm not exactly sure what to take away from this, but, sometimes you'll see a guy like Chernyshov just sort of take off. Misa just rifles the puck out of his own end, and Epperson just goes, I'm going to throw it because he knows he's there. Just an absolute rip. And when you're down by 2, this is not a this is not a situation you want to find yourself in if you're Guelph, but Chernyshov is in that situation and makes absolutely no mistake. What a shot. Like, just a great wrist shot. So the game is at 6-on-5, so I'll let it run, see if anything pops up. I mean, Chernyshov goes for the empty net here, which, as if he needs any more goals today. I love games like this, where it's just an absolute barn burner. I think hockey is better when there's lots of goals and lots of offense and lots of fun. This was very Igor Chernyshov to me, this game. You know, I've been watching Chernyshov for 2 years now, and wow, jeez. For me, he's a guy who's often very quiet, but very effective. When the puck hits his stick, he's capable of a lot of things. The skill level, we saw a few attempts there to his detriment, but it's there. He can grip it and rip it. We saw him score a couple of goals just by absolutely hammering a puck. He's a very smart positional offensive player, finds space, knows how to utilize it, and I think he is a perfect match for guys like Zane Parekh and Michael Misa, who are all over the ice, possession monsters who love to be involved and drive play in the right direction. And Chernyshov here and there sort of did that, but I didn't track data for this game, so I would be very curious to see his involvement in that area. Typically, Chernyshov was a guy who was kind of here and there going both directions of the ice. Then he would get a scoring chance or create a scoring chance, and boom, 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 you've got something out of him. This is kind of trademark Igor Chernyshov. For a guy who played in the KHL last year, him jumping straight to the OHL and scoring and scoring and scoring makes a lot of sense for me. He's physically resilient. He's got some size. He's pretty smart with the puck on his stick, you know, makes good reads a lot of the time. He bit off a little more than he could chew with the puck on his stick this game, but you can't argue with, you know, there weren't very many defensive situations where I was kind of going, ugh, but there were a lot of situations offensively where I'm going, that was a great play. I would make the argument that Guelph made life a little bit too easy for Saginaw in this game just by opening up a lot of space and losing track of men and all of those things. But I think Chernyshov did a really, really good job capitalizing on those things. And even outside of those little playmaking moments that he exploited, he still drove a lot on his own through his power and his skating ability and his evasiveness that he showcased here and there, but just simple, effective offense. That's the type of stuff that also works in the NHL too. Right? Not every goal is super fancy or anything. It's just a bang bang play or a good counterattack, or you find a pocket of space defensively, or you find a pocket of space offensively and just rifle one into the net when a loose puck comes your way. Lots of things like that are possible and lots of things like that happen. And in this, at this level, a guy like him will be able to score in bunches. Honestly, frankly, I thought that he was a guy that should stay in Russia and maybe just play in the KHL and just get better and better and better over there. But here he's going to get a lot of confidence. Here he's going to be able to work on some skill, play a lot of games, play a lot of minutes. He played a lot in this game, and I think there's a lot to chew on here for Chernyshov, especially for a guy who missed so much time. You know, was he amazing in this game? No, in terms of all around the pace of his game, driving play up and down the ice and making stuff happen. I didn't think he was spectacular. Looking a step behind a lot of guys and maybe being a little bit rusty on those settling the puck moments and all those things, I think is a little forgivable entering the season over halfway in. So for me, honestly, I liked this game out of Chernyshov more than I liked the game of Beckett-Seneca and Berkeley-Catton. It doesn't change things for me with regards to like, oh, do I think Berkeley-Catton and Beckett-Seneca are bad now? Not at all. But Chernyshov brought a really good combination of just being very effective in a bit of a more limited capacity, but very, very good at finding space in the offensive zone. That quick thinking, creating offense, both for yourself, for others, the absolute quality of his chances on net. I think the competition was a little bit soft for Chernyshov in this game, but at the end of the day, I think I'm slotting him in at number 15 here. He wasn't the most impactful guy. He got scored on in a way that I think he factored in a little bit, but he wasn't bad. Yeah, he bobbled a few pucks and skated himself into pressure and looked off some good opportunities, but especially as the game kind of wore on, he was making decisions that were simpler, more effective, just really, really good offensive choices, and they got rewarded on the score sheet time and time again, right? This was a game where they started up 5-0 and ended 10-7. Like, this was a bit of a wagon. I think there's a lot to love. I think there's a lot to really be excited about with Chernyshov if you understand his game and maybe some limitations there. I also have all the time in the world to be patient, see how he is in 20 games by the end of the season, because just the projectability of his game, his ability to do things offensively that will work in the NHL, I think is impressive. And I think the guys below him, I think they have some things to work on in that area based on what I've seen of them in their games. games and in the higher end needle moving ability where it's transition play and enhancing the play of everybody else. Whereas I think Chernyshov does a really good job being enhanced by a guy like a Michael Misa, right? Through his own talent, just kind of by what he brings. So that's going to be it. If you liked it, definitely like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you really liked it, definitely go to scouching.ca and consider subscribing, where you get access to our Discord server, as well as access to plenty of other stuff like our data tables for drafted and undrafted prospects, as well as our data visualization tools and plenty of other cool stuff you can check out at scouching.ca, whatever your budget might be. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.